Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I did this video a little while ago about hiring someone for Simple Programmer, hiring a writer, okay? And I got a lot of applications for this. By the time you're watching this video, maybe I've already hired someone. I probably have. But I was thinking about a concept when a lot of people had messaged me or emailed me and said, I want to work for free, I'll work for free. And I thought about this, and I actually have turned down most people that have asked me in the past to work for free. And it's kind of an interesting concept, is that I don't let someone work for free for me unless they've proven themselves first. And that seems kind of weird, right? That seems kind of weird, kind of backwards, right? Like, wouldn't you let someone work for you for free in order to prove themselves? But my answer is that I wouldn't hire someone to work for me for free unless they've proven themselves. And I'll tell you why. Is because if I'm going to hire you for a job, I want to pay you some money so that I can demand from you the actual completion of the job. If you're working for me for free, I've got nothing to hold. I've got no leverage with you. I can't tell you, I can't force you to get this shit done and say, hey, you need to meet this deadline, because what is my recourse? What am I going to say? You're not going to get paid, you're going to get fired. Well, you're working for free. And so I've actually had this happen a few times where some people have agreed to work for me or wanted to work for me for less pay than what I wanted to pay them. Right? And this may seem like a good thing, but in that case, they don't have much motivation and you don't have much leverage, right? So you can't really demand stuff from them. If they're essentially getting paid a lot less than that they care about at all, or that it's worth it for the job, then it's very, very difficult for you to say, hey, you can't really come at them and say, hey, you know what, this work wasn't very good, you need to redo this, or you can't really come at them for deadlines, and you don't have much leverage at all. So honestly, I would tell you that I would need someone to earn my trust in order for them to work for a reduced pay or zero pay. I'd rather pay someone a full price, because then I can hold them fully accountable. And this is just an interesting concept, just something, I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to go with this, but just something to think about as I was thinking about this as well. Now, it doesn't mean that, again, that someone can't necessarily work for free and prove themselves. You go and you do something and you prove it to me, and then after that, then we'll have some kind of talk. Whereas if you just came to me and you said, hey, I want a job, I want to work for you, I don't want you to pay me anything, I just want to work for you, just tell me what to do. I've had a lot of people say this, and I say no, absolutely not, simply because I don't trust them, right? I don't have any leverage, and I don't trust them. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my resources. I don't want to waste my team's time on someone who thinks that they're going to get some stuff done and do some work for me, but then they're actually not going to do anything, or they're not going to be very motivated, right? They have to prove themselves first. So it's either I'm going to hire you, like you're going to make it through the hiring process, and I'm going to pay you a fair wage for what you're doing, right? Or maybe it's an internship, but that's still a fair way. Like there's some kind of compensation agreement where it's somehow fair. Either you're gonna get paid, or you're going to come and bring already the proof, right? You've already brought me money. You've already brought me something, in the case of this book, you've already written the ebook and said, hey, look, this is the kind of work that I produced. Here it is. I have it for you. Now let's talk about pay, or now let's talk about me working for you, right? It's going to be one of those things. So, just an interesting concept to think about if you're on either side of this, of, the idea that, and I've applied this a lot of times, right? So I've told you about my business partner, buddy, Josh Earl, who's now the partner in this company. You can check out the video where I talked about him becoming a partner, if you haven't heard that. And one of the things I talked about in that, he wanted, a flat payment of money for doing this work, and I refused. I said, I want to pay you X, I think it was something like $5,000. I want to pay you $5,000, but I also want to pay you plus 10% of everything that we make revenue-wise past the $5,000 on the launch, because I want you to have some skin in the game, right? I want you, and I've done this multiple times. I just hired someone on the Simple Programmer team, and I paid them double what they were asking. Okay, because I felt like that was at least a fair compensation, and I wanted them to have skin in the game. Again, this is not because I'm a super generous guy. That's not the case. It's because I want to make sure that people are compensated fairly, so that I can hold them accountable and so that they will actually do the job, and it's actually worth it to them, and they're incentivized, right? And so, this is just something I think to think about, and you can apply this to multiple areas of life. But, you don't always get the highest benefit by saving the most amount of money, or by being a cheapskate, or by trying to nickel and dime or bargain things down. Sometimes paying full price is worth it. Again, I do the same thing with contractors, right? If I have someone come and do some work for me, especially in my house, right? I hire them for a job. I don't negotiate them down. Now, if they're way up there, I might come up with a price, but I try to give them a fair price where they feel like it's worth the money for them. Because the last thing I want is someone doing some kind of work in my house or doing some kind of job for me, and them doing a rush job, or them doing a shitty job, or them being angry because they're not getting paid what they're worth, right? Because I've browbeaten them, or I've negotiated them down using negotiating tactics, and then later they feel regret and they're like, oh shit, well I'm losing my ass on this job. I better fucking get it done real quick, or I'm gonna have to cut some corners in order to get this done, right? That's not what you want at all. So just think about this, whether you're hiring someone or you're sitting on the other side of the table, is that this is value, right? It's not working for free. It's something that has to be earned, right? I don't trust people to work for free for me. Instead, maybe you got to think about what kind of value are you bringing, how are you creating trust if you're trying to get a job, and how are you going to make it, you're going to prove yourself so that someone would want to hire you, right? And you got to think about compensation there. And the same thing when you're hiring someone or when you're paying for a service, is think about what do you want the other person to think about or to feel like, and how do you want to be able to, what kind of recourse do you want to have, right? And if you pay someone shit wages, they're going to not be happy. They're not going to want to do the job. They're going to feel resentful. It's better not to hire them at all, right? And if you can incentivize someone, that's even better, right? So you got to watch this, and it's just an interesting concept. So I thought I'd share that with you. For those of you that are interested, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to be an entrepreneur, even just looking for a job, maybe you can apply this in your life, or maybe just even beyond the scope of this, just this idea of not trying to shortchange people, or not trying to shortchange things, or be a cheapskate, because it bites you in the ass. Whereas sometimes paying full value or paying a little bit extra can have a huge benefit that you might not be able to see right now. So all right, that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, make sure you click the subscribe button below, click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.